Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you have a 2024 Ford Bronco and you're looking for something that's going to allow you to carry a lot of different styles of bikes, and you want something that's going to allow you full access to the back of your cargo area with the bike on or with it off, then the RockyMounts AfterParty Bike Rack is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. And we're getting a really good fit today. So our bike has plenty of distance in between the rack and a vehicle. We're not going to make contact with anything, even if we're on some really bumpy roads. I'm moving this quite a bit, and this isn't going anywhere. And we even have a pretty decently large mountain bike back here. Now, the other thing to think about, like I was saying, is when we have the access our hatch area. Now, typically with most vehicles, if I just tilted this back, we have a pretty extreme tilt. Even with this having the ability to carry those 60-pound bikes per tray, we actually can't access this all the way. Now, you might be able to grab something small, like a smaller item, like maybe a couple drinks, but that's not going to allow you to do very much. So if I put this back up, we actually have a different way of accessing it. And what I mean is, if we go underneath, we're going to have this blue knob. That's something I like about these racks, is that they're going to have old blue touch points, so it makes it a little bit more intuitive. Now, I got that on there pretty tight, but if I loosen that up some, eventually I'll start hearing it click, like that. And then I just have to pull a pin over here, allowing me to bend this out. Just make sure you pull this secondary one and make sure it doesn't make contact with your vehicle. And right here you can see we have a ton of space that's open, allowing me to open this all the way. Now, of course, we are going to make contact with our bike at some point. Right about here, or just a couple inches shy of hitting something, but that's more than enough space to really get in here and grab whatever you need. Or if you want to get ready for your ride, you can take a seat, tie your shoes, grab your helmet, and get out riding. Now, we swung this back in, and if we want to take a closer look at the rack, I'm going to have to take off my bike. So what I like to do is just take it at one piece at a time. So we're going to have these blue buttons here, and if you just press down on it, you're going to hear that click. Afterwards, you just push this out some, and these are going to be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you got to lift up on that blue bar, and then it'll allow you to fully release this. I also recommend maintaining control of your bike because it can get a little bit loose. It just gives me more peace of mind. And since we're only making contact with our tires, this is great for any type of bike that have a really nice paint job, or is a carbon frame bike, or is alternative too. And from here, I'm just going to lift up, and with it off, I'm going to take it out for a ride. Also, it's important, if you are about to go out again, just make sure you put these arms back into place. That's what really it takes, is pushing it down. Make sure you put that blue tab down too. You actually start off by doing that. The only difference is you'll hear it ratchet, just like that. And from here, let's get a few measurements. So I'm actually going to go from our bumper, just in case you have a different size tire. And this is going to sit just about 36 inches, which is not super uncommon for a lot of Jeeps or Broncos. It's not going to be too terribly far. Just keep in mind, if you're in those really tight spots, like a parking spot or garage, just watch out for it. The second measurement I want to get is going to be the ground clearance. And you can already tell this is up pretty high. And this is going to be just a little bit over 30 inches. And that really comes more into play, is just kind of keeping in mind when you are trying to load up those really heavy e-bikes, that is going to be quite the lift. But we can also save space. So to do that, earlier I tilted this down, but I'm going to pull that same lever and push up. And what I'm liking right now is this is sitting really close to our vehicle. We're not making contact with anything. Really, the closest point right now is going to be just that backup camera, and that's about 2 inches away, which is plenty. It gives me peace of mind that it's not going to make contact, but also very compact too. But the total distance it is from our back bumper, that's going to be right about 23 inches, so that's going to save you a lot of room. Now this is going to block a decent amount on the back of the vehicle. And what I mean by that is where our backup camera is oriented is right behind the center point. So that's going to be completely obstructed. So what I recommend doing is just really stick to either using your back window or your mirrors. Another spot that's going to be partially obstructed is going to be our license plate right over here. Some locations or areas that might be more visible than others, majority of the time it'll be mostly obstructed. And our taillights should be good to go. And the way this is going to install to your Bronco is we're going to have a 2-inch shank that goes into your 2-inch hitch receiver. We'll then have an anti-rattle bolt that uses a 3/4 socket and wrench to go through and connect to a lock core on the other side to give you that extra security. That lock core will also be key to like with your included bike lock. In my opinion, I think this is a solid choice. It's probably going to be one of my top picks for the Bronco just because it can carry a lot of different styles of bikes. It's really easy to use and it's going to allow you that full access to your back storage. Now, if I was going to throw another great option out there, it'd probably be another RockyMounts one, and that's going to be the backstage. Now, the reason why I'd recommend that one is because it's just a little bit more affordable than this one we have right here. Only the way it's going to mount is a little bit different. It's going to have a front ratcheting hook and a wheel strap. So it just takes a little bit longer to get on your actual rack. But if you're looking for something a little bit more premium because maybe moving those arms isn't as efficient as you would like, the Kuat pistons are great too. Now they won't have that swing away arm like we do right now, but what you could do is get a swing arm attachment so you could get the same capabilities out of this. The only downside to really adding on one later on down the road is they typically don't work as well as one that's integrated in. So again, that's why I kind of rate this one at the top. But this is just a look at some of the features of the RockyMounts AfterParty Bike Rack on the back of our 2024 Ford Bronco. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.